Hi, I'm Gisela Kroeger Hoffman. I'm here with Gwen Foster, and we are going to tell you a little bit about what you can learn in the Hanna 3 course. The Hanna 3 is primarily a course where we put 2 topics together that require activities, that require people to work with their hands or to participate. One of them would be all of Hanna's alignment procedures are going to be in there. So like how to set the tailbone. Why do you need to worry about body alignments as things that might cause a whole lot of issues down the road. So we'll be going through all of those, and then we're also going to go through spiritual health. Namely, what is the causes, many of the causes of physical ill health really start on the spiritual side, but let's just make it very clear. Spiritual has nothing to do with religion. Spiritual side are the unseen energies that are in our field of, in our physical bodies as well as surrounding our physical bodies. These are unseen, and they're often we don't know about them. All we know is that we are being affected by them. And even that is usually, we don't know why we do certain things, but it is very often through these energy fields. The course is designed to help you know how to clear out these energy fields, to keep them clean so that your subconscious mind is not being affected by it, so that you are free to be yourself. We have a lot of, we'll be going through a lot of rituals that Hanna taught, practices that we have, how to visualize the golden light around you, but we will go into many of the underlying causes of ill health, which are spirit-based.
So I want to add that the spiritual class, or the Hanna 3 class, is spiritual trauma can be just as much of an influence on our physical health and our well-being and emotional health as anything else. And what we'll cover is strategies to discover what the underlying problem is, and then tools to help correct the issue. And even though the spiritual traumas can be more abstract than the physical or emotional, they're just as valid as any other technique. And I personally believe that in 10 years of just tons of classes and books and everything I've read, I really in nowhere else have gotten the training to deal with these particular issues. And in Houston, the first few times that someone came in to see me that had a spiritual issue, I at first it was kind of even weird for me. It was different, but if I hadn't been in the class, I wouldn't have even known that it was a spiritual issue. I wouldn't even know how to address it or what to do about it. And as time went on, I started seeing patterns. So one I want to discuss that has been the most popular, not popular, but the most common is after someone's death. And I've had multiple cases where people's health declined on some event, like their mother's death, or a year on the anniversary of someone's death. And it's interesting because I had this one client that had young woman who was confined to a wheelchair, and she collapsed on the day, the anniversary of her mother's death. And she had a huge amount of guilt around her mother's death, which you would think, well, that could be emotional, but in this woman's case, it was not. It was definitely very spiritual. She was very attached to her mother, and she had a lot of guilt. She did have a lot of guilt about her mother's death, but her health went into a total decline. She actually went to Mexico to a detox center and got out of the wheelchair. But by the time she came to see me, nothing had been addressed about these issues that she had connected with her mom. And anyway, I think it was the piece that took her the rest of the way into her healing and let her start to recover from what had happened with her mother's illness. And anyway, when someone comes in, after you've taken the Hanna 3 class and someone comes and see you as a client, or if you've experienced spiritual trauma yourself, I just don't know where else some people would get help. I mean, they're not going to get help from their physician, or probably not even from their psychiatrist. You know, a lot of times the people are deemed psychosomatic or psychotic, and they really have nowhere else to turn. And I think that even talking to the other Hanna practitioners that I know, we all feel the same way, that if we didn't have the training in Hanna spiritual lessons, we wouldn't really have an effective way to deal with them either. And the alignment procedures are just awesome. I mean, can't even tell me how many times I've done the tailbone procedure on people in 10 years, and with a huge result. But that's just one of the many techniques that you'll learn in Hanna 3.
So we hope that you'll come and join us for a very, very exciting class, which again will do a lot to help you address the many issues, maybe in your family, in your friends, or in your practice. Thank you.